Welcome to another lesson. Find your pre-algebra skills book. It should be yellow. Open it up. We're going to work on pages 1 through 3 together. As usual, we'll do a few samples and the rest is on your own. Let's begin.
Solve by assuming b equals -2 and match with their correct answer. -2. Since there's a negative, when we substitute, let's go ahead and put parentheses around it. It's a good idea always to do that when you substitute with negatives. Sometimes it won't matter, but often it makes a big difference. So let's go ahead and do that. So b is -2. 10b plus 2. Well, if b is -2, then I will rewrite that as 10 times -2 plus 2. 10 times -2 is -20 plus 2. That would make -18. I come over here, that gives me C. Just to remember, each time you do this, go ahead and substitute with your -2 in parentheses.
I don't trust the monkeys.
Hey.
They just told it.
Go on to page 2. I'll go over 3 of those with you. Mystery number. Use the following clues to determine the mystery number. For each one, write an equation and then solve the equation. Let's start with number 1. When 3 is added to my number, the sum is 38. What is my number? Added sum, I know that this is going to be plus. When 3 is added to my number, what is my number? So we're trying to figure out the mystery number. Got it. So I'm going to add 3 to the number. I'm going to say it's going to be n for number. N, add 3. The sum is, the word sum means it's the answer when you add. So I know I'm coming to the answer, so I'm going to put my equal sign. The sum is 38. There we go. This is the most important part of this page because the whole purpose of this page is to teach you how to write equations from words. That's when algebra becomes real, when you can take a real-life situation and use algebra to help you solve it. And I do that as an adult, in fact. So in order to solve this, I have n plus 3. To get n by itself, I'll do the opposite. So I will subtract 3 from both sides. N equals 38 minus 3 would be 35. So let's think. When 3 is added to my number, the sum is 38. So if I have 35 and I add 3, I get 38. Right. This part right here is just me checking my answer. Make sure on your paper that you have the equation and then you show what the mystery number is. So you've got to have this part and this part. There's 2 parts to these. This right here was just, like I said, just me checking my answer. This is not required, but it does help if you're not sure. Number 2, when 15 is subtracted from my number, the difference is 45. All right, difference, subtracting, of course, but subtracted from my number. So I'm going to start with my number, and I'm going to take 15 away. So when 15 is subtracted from my number, the difference, that means I'm getting to my answer, is 45. There's my equation. Now, to isolate the variable, I'll do the opposite. I will add 15 to both sides. That cancels out, and I end up with n equals 60. And just to be sure, I'm going to check one more. When 15 is subtracted from my number. So if your number is 60, and I subtract 15, the difference is 45. Yes, yes it is. All right. There we go. I won't check on the third one I do with you. Number 3, when my number is added to 18, the sum is 30. What is my number? So when my number is added to 18, so I have 18, then I'm going to add my number. The sum is, tells me I'm getting to the answer, 30. All right, so to get n by itself, I've got to get rid of 18. 18 is positive, so the opposite would be negative. So I'm going to negative 18, both sides, subtract 18. That cancels out, and I end up with n equals 30 minus 18 is 12. There you go. That is page 2. Now, move on to page 3. It's this right here. We'll do just a little bit together, starting with number 1. This is algebra vocabulary. Label the parts of the expression: coefficient, constant, and variable. Well, coefficient is anything that's in front of the variable. It tells you how many n's, or how many d's, or how many, in this case, y's. How many y's right here? 8. 8 is the coefficient. Do you see that we actually have another coefficient? 2 is also a coefficient, but that wasn't identified for us to label. Constant. Constant is the number all by itself with no variable. That would be your negative 7. That is your constant. Variable, I'm sure that's the easiest one for you to get. The variable is the y. How many terms are present in this expression? You've got one term, 2 terms, 3 terms. 8y, negative 7, and 2y. So that means there are 3 terms. List them, okay? 8y is a term. Negative 7 is a term. And 2y is a term. I'm separating them by commas so that it doesn't all run together. So now you do this one on your own. Now let's come down here and I'll do number 3 with you. Identify the terms, variables, coefficients, and constants in each expression. The terms. Well, the terms is everything you're adding or subtracting. So it would be negative 4a, negative 7b, positive 5, so just write 5. And positive c. Those are all my terms. My variables. Well, I have an a, a b, and a c. A, b, c. Coefficients. How many a's? Negative 4. How many b's? Negative 7. How many c's? You could either say that c doesn't have a coefficient, or you could identify that it has a hidden coefficient of 1. I'd like for you to go ahead and write the coefficient of 1, just so you get comfortable and you understand that there actually is a coefficient in front of a variable that does not have one. It's always 1. The constants. The constants are just the plain numbers. Let's see, we've got 5. So we have just this one constant. There you go. So you can do 4, 5, 6 on your own down here, and then number 2 up here on your own. So go back and finish pages 1 through 3, and you are good.